This video is for my fellow broke girlies of society, because sometimes us broke girlies, we need to come together and just judge things that we can't afford, criticize and judge things that we secretly want, but we can't afford. At the moment, it just makes us feel a bit better about ourselves, right? Doesn't it? Haven't we all done it before? And that is what the purpose of this video is. But we're going to be doing it together. Us broke girlies, you and I, we're going to be doing it together. So I'm just going to be scouring through some of these really rare and expensive plants and talking smack about them, judging them, criticizing them. Even though I may just have like $50 in my account and I may secretly want some of them. Let's just do this together. But I do want to issue this disclaimer that I am not affiliated with any one of these vendors that I'm gonna feature. I may feature their plants, but I will attach their links in case some of you rich girlies that are watching me, because some of you are rich, some of you are mad rich. Some of you rich girlies want to patronize them. I'm also not going to be hating on their prices, because okay, fine, just because you can't afford something doesn't mean you should hate on the price. Okay, you just can't afford it. Okay, so bearing that in mind, this is going to be lightweight, this is going to be fun, and yeah, so without much ado, let's get to the nitty-gritty. The first plant, and this comes with a hefty price tag. Oh my lord. When I did the conversion to my currency, I feel like my calculator actually broke, with all the zeros I was seeing. It is definitely not a plant for us broke girlies of society. Okay, it's a Monstera Devil. I saw this plant on Etsy being sold for $2 and I was like, wait, am I in an alternate universe? Is this a dream? Am I in heaven? $2 Monstera Devil. I was about to reach for my card and see if I could order, but then I looked carefully. It's $2 for a node, just a node, a leafless node, just a node. And I asked myself, is this what we're doing? Is this really who we have become? Are we still buying nodes, knowing fully well that it might take 60 to 70 years before that plant matures into a full-blown, lush specimen? Are we still doing that? Are we still that desperate? Until I saw the price of this plant. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? In 2024, this plant was sold for $40,000 US. Wow. Oh, Rasantaraka. Did you? I don't think you heard me. $40,000 US. Isn't that enough to buy a house? Like somewhere like in rural America, like in Kentucky. Do you get what I mean? But that's the equivalent in my country. That's the equivalent of 68 million naira. Oh, for a plant.
The pressure is getting
for a plant.
worse.
And I did some research. I did some digging. I was like, maybe there are cheaper options. Maybe if I sold a kidney, maybe if I did that, I'd be able to afford one of these cheaper options. But I don't think one kidney is gonna cut it, even for the smaller options. I saw a small cutting being sold, just a small cutting, being sold for $4,000 US.
Jesus!
$4,000 US for a small cutting. That's not even as bad as. And I don't know whether I was hallucinating, maybe it was a mistake, but I saw a stump, literally just a stump. It has no leaves, it's just a stump. It's a rooted stump being sold for 35,000 euros. And in fact, I'm even confused. I don't even know whether it is 35,000 euros or 350,000 euros, because that comma it's confusing me a bit. But I don't know. I hope it is 35,000 euros. Yeah, it is not a plant. for the broke girlies of society, certainly not a plant for the average Joe. And you know, all of this for a plant that, this is where I'm gonna be a hater because I can't afford this plant. All of this for a plant that looks like, you know, it's recovering from a spider mite infestation.
Oh, honey, girl.
I mean, look at the variegation. The variegation looks, you know, the plant looks sick. The plant looks like it doesn't want to be variegated, if we're being real. Yeah, it's like, it looks like, if we're being real, I could just be a hater. It doesn't mean that if somebody gave me this plant, I wouldn't buy it. It doesn't mean that if I weren't, you know, Elon Musk, I wouldn't buy this plant. Just telling you as a broke hater. My fellow broke girlies right now. Wouldn't you agree that this looks like something that has a spider mite infestation? Wouldn't you agree that looks like something that's recovering from a spider mite infestation? Yes. And also, why is it called Monstera Devil? Why? Why isn't it called Monstera, you know, Angel? Why is the name satanic? Why? Yeah, so will I buy this plant if I were a rich girlie of society? Yes, but now as a broke girlie, I would just hate on it. I will hate on it. And yes, it does look like it has spider mites. Yeah. Now, let's move over to one that, look, I tried my best to hate this plant, but I can't be a hater. I love this plant. It looks gorgeous and I love the variegation. I'm a sucker for this type of variegation as well. So it's a Monstera lemon lime, and girlies, look at the material. Look at the material. Look at that variegation. There is just something about that lemon lime variegation that I love, especially as somebody who loves bright colors. I mean, look at the material. Look at the material. I love plants that have that lemon lime variegation. Like, they just always stand out. Regardless of how congested your collection is, those plants always stand out. So I love this plant, but babes, this is not a plant for the broke girlies of society. It's not a plant for the lower middle class. Even the upper middle class may struggle and to get this plant. It is not cheap. Okay, it is not cheap. I saw a small, in fact, the cheapest one I saw while scouring the internet was a small 4-inch pot, and that sold for $329 US.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, for a small 4-inch pot. Wow, but it gets more extreme. I saw one on Monstera X, and I think this one has been sold because I couldn't see the listing when I clicked on it. $800 US for a 2-leaf cutting, a 2-leaf top cutting. $800 US. Wow. And then I saw another one that when I saw, I screamed, I shouted. A 2-leaf plant. It has beautiful all variegated leaves. Oh, 6,000 US of $8. Hey! 6,000 US on Etsy. Yeah, it's not for, like I said, this is a plant that is not for the broke girlies of society, but she's beautiful. Like, I can't even be a hater on this plant. She looks exquisite. I will buy this plant. Again, I will buy this plant. If you're watching this and you're a rich girly, I'm gonna link her in this video. So maybe buy it. Buy it. And if you're feeling generous, buy for me as well. Like, oh my god, 6,000 US. Not for the broke girls of society. No, the amazing thing about this Etsy website is that it always has something, like it seems to have options for the poor and desperate girlies of society, because I checked on Etsy and somebody is selling a nod cutting. I couldn't get pictures of what exactly a nod cutting looks like, but I'm assuming it's this. I'm assuming it's this thing here. For $25 US. A nut cutting. You know, again, considering the prices of these things, I mean, if you're a desperate and broke girly of society, that's an option for you. You can give her a go. And maybe in 5 years' time, you will have a viable full plant. But yeah, Monstera lemon lime, definitely not for the broke girlies of society. Okay. Now this one is one that I can confidently hate. I can confidently hate, even though I can't afford it, because it does look fugly to me. Okay, this is a Philodendron Orlando variegated. First of all, I didn't even know that Philodendron existed. I feel like these hybridizers just come up with random names. But anyways, it's all good. And yeah, look at the material, guys. What do you guys think? The cheapest you will find this, or cheapest I found this on the internet, was $850 US. Yeah. So prices range between $850 to like $3,000 US. She's certainly not cheap, but I don't know. But she does look, to me, she does look fugly. What do you guys think? She does look fugly. Again, it doesn't mean that I won't buy it. It doesn't mean that if I didn't have the money, I won't buy it. But she does look fugly to me. And also, she looks really similar to, like, you know, more common and less opulent Philodendron. She looks a lot similar to Philodendron Bono. Doesn't this look like a Philodendron Bono? Doesn't this? Or is it just me being a hater? She also looks quite similar to Philodendron Perseverate. I mean, and if you squint really hard, you also see that she looks similar to a painted lady. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be so expensive, if you're gonna cost an arm and a leg, you should look like yourself. You should have your own distinguishable, you know, characteristics. I shouldn't look at you and think like, oh my god, you look like my Philodendron Perseverate that I bought for like $20. Do you get what I mean? This could just be me being a hater, but you know, I'm not feeling her. Now, does that mean that if, you know, if somebody bought me this plant, that I wouldn't take it? Or if I had the money, I wouldn't buy it? No, but I'm a broke girly, and you know, but us broke girlies, like I said, it feels good to hate on things we can't afford every now and then. Now let's move over to something slightly more affordable. Slightly. It doesn't mean that this plant is by any means cheap. It's slightly more affordable. For maybe this is for like the upper middle class girlies of society, you know. Okay. It's a variegated Hoya Rubis. I saw one on Etsy being sold for $550 US. I mean, not bad. It's a fair price, not bad. Can I blow your mind, girlies? And you may not believe me, but I have once owned this plant. Yes, I have once owned this plant. Yes, you may think I am joking, but I have picture evidence. And oh my god, she was such a beautiful specimen. Oh my god, I loved her so much. I was so proud of her. I just couldn't stop staring at her. Oh, I loved her until she decided to perish. Despite all my love and care, she just decided to perish. In my opinion, this is a plant that doesn't want to be variegated. Yeah, because what was happening was the variegated parts were just always brown, no matter what I did. And you can see it in this picture, it's starting to do that. This plant was like, I do not want to be variegated. Unvariegate me. And then the plants will either just push out green leaves. It was like, I didn't want to be variegated. Okay. And then in my case, it just started to die. Quite painful. I will say though, when I got mine, I got it for like dirt cheap. Guys, you will not believe how much I bought this plant. I've never told anyone, but I'm telling you this because I got it for 10,000 naira, which is, I don't know what that is. Maybe 10,000 naira is like $5. Okay, but this was like 3 years ago in Nigeria, when like most Nigerians didn't know the value of plants, and most people weren't spending that much on plants. So a lot of the rare plants back then were like dirt cheap in this part of the world. If I could ship plants out back then, oh my god, I would have made a huge profit, because no one really bought them, so the vendors just sold them for really cheap. Now that plant in Nigeria, it costs a lot more. You won't even find it, like it's not that very common. But yeah, I will say that I had my moments with this plant. Now, does that mean that I would buy this plant again? No. Okay, wait, yes, I'm low-key scorned that the plant just declined, but it's a beautiful plant. It's a beautiful plant. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe if I had $550 lying around, I would buy an attempt again. But I will say, if you're buying this plant, please be cautious, because in my opinion, she doesn't want to be variegated. She's like, I want to be green. I want to be green. Make me green. Like, do you get what I mean? Oh my lord, oh my Jesus. It's a Philodendron Almania, a variegated Philodendron Almania. And I saw this plant being sold on Etsy for 1,200 United States dollars. Oh, that's a lot of money, babes. I was thinking about it. That's actually my rent for 2 years. 2 years. 2 years. Wow. So guys, look at the material. What do you think? Even though I'm trying to be a hater, I won't say this plant is bad. It actually does look nice. Oh, this does look nice. The variegation is popping. At first, when I first saw this picture, I thought this looks a lot like a variegated Philodendron biliate. And I was going to say, why will I spend so much for a plant that looks like something that is becoming a bit more affordable? Get what I mean? But then I looked and I googled other pictures of this plant, and oh my goodness gracious. Unfortunately, I can't be a hater in this case, because the variegation is stunning. Guys, look at the material. Like, the variegation, it has white sparkle variegation. I feel like white is, well, not necessarily white, but this type of variegation that is white and like, sparkled like, does that make sense? That is my favorite type of variegation, and this plant just has it. And apparently it's a climbing plant. I didn't know that this plant existed until I researched on this video, and I was like, wow, she looks gorgeous, she looks amazing. Will I buy this plant? Yes. I mean, if I had like $1,200 just floating around in my account, if I were a rich girly of society, if I were a millionaire, I would buy this plant. I feel like it's definitely gonna be worth, it's worth it. It's worth 1,200. And in fact, the specimens I found for sale, they're usually like large specimens, 2-3 leaves. They will cost you a penny. But it does look like it's worth it, girly. So let me know what you guys think. Is this a plant that, is it worth the price tag? Is this a plant you will spend your money on? I can't really hit on this plant so much, but she's cute. I'll give her coins. I'm gonna give her a strong 7.75 over 10. Yeah. We have come to the end of this video. I wanted to give this video short and cute so that nobody will come for me. Nobody will come for me, because so I decided, okay, let me just make this short and cute and and fun. So what do you guys think? Did you guys enjoy this video? Should I do like a part 2? Let me know in the comments. And also, I am gonna link as much of this plant as I can in the description box, because I know some of you are rich. Some of you rich girlies, some of you watching this, you're not part of the Broke Girlies Association. You are rich girlies, and I know that you're gonna buy this plant at the end of the day. The fun thing is that for some of these vendors, they had like payment plans, which I thought was quite reasonable. So yeah. So let me know what your thoughts are. Would you actually buy any of these plants? And I think what the price. Let's keep the conversation rolling in the comments, and I'll see you there. But till then, see you in the next one. Bye.